keen. I'm really keen.
Yeah, I'm really excited too.
Good luck to both players.
Yep.
And
we are off. All right, 6-3 start from both players. We see Nakagi going for a bit more of the T-spin setups, whereas WUMBO is just kind of going for those Tetrises. WUMBO already having to well transfer from that 9-0 to an 0-9 here, and a little bit of a misdrop on that S piece. Nakagi setting up this dono here, but we are just going to be doing normal phase 1 things for now.
Yeah, look, we're just going to be getting to the meat of the game. Although Nakagi has misdropped slightly, and then WUMBO's going to try and capitalize with a zone. That was a beautiful little Tetris into T-spin prophecy. Another one. Where's the eyepiece? There it is. That's a really efficient zone. We should see a 50.
It's a very efficient zone.
Maybe even a 60.
Yeah. 61. 61. WUMBO starting us off strong, and Nakagi not looking great.
No, this is dangerous.
They've got quarter zone, and they can accept that, and it's relatively clean, so they're going to be fine for now, but can't really do too much of that later on.
Yeah, an emergency zone there does save them. But I believe that puts them in a slight deficit. Easily recoverable in phase 2, but they can't get away with the same thing in phase 3. So for their sake, I hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and that's what phase 1 is for, is getting out those jitters, is making sure that, you have your safety net for now, learning how to use it, and just getting comfortable, which is what these players are going to have to do, because this is a long set ahead of them here.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet to be sure, as I said earlier. A marathon of a matchup here. Oh, and WUMBO does find the 20. Lovely use of IRS there, kicking us into phase 3. And that's a lot of garbage accepted! Is that survivable? Yeah. I think it might not
I think
be.
it is. Because they've got quarter now.
They definitely would have seen that T-spin there. Unfortunately, they didn't have the luxury of one more placement. They had to zone there. And look, yeah, they're still in it. They try and hunt for that Tetris. They don't get it. Oh, and WUMBO's just farming zone here while not taking off the pressure, and that's going to be round 1 to them. Nice work, mate.
Yeah, so that is going to be a relatively quick start here for us in this 1st to 7.
Crazy stats there. And off we go again. I really wanted to get excited about that previous round, but I was like right before I started yelling, I thought, no, we got plenty of games.
A lot of time.
Don't wear yourself out too early.
All right, both players sitting with this max zone here.
Oh, nice floaty boy!
WUMBO going to be the first to rip that zone. Not as efficient as WUMBO starting zone last round, which, to be fair, it's kind of difficult to match that. So 49, we see a 49 Perfectress there.
Nakagi, what are you going to pull off? Ooh. 54! Much better, and does completely counter WUMBO, sending a bit of excess.
Yeah, but that excess is just going to feed in this case, because WUMBO is getting close to that full zone. We're likely going to see next player that zones pushes this into phase 3. So both players just kind of preparing for that here. WUMBO preparing for that with this STSD. Yeah, I was going to say that you don't really have the T pieces. You're up high on the zone. That's not ideal.
34 and 12. Look, it's not fantastic, but it's enough to maybe stave off any incoming attack from Nakagi, unless they get those eyepieces. Nice use of IRS there. Gives them an extra 10 attack, probably. Beautiful. And now WUMBO is going to be forced to accept a little bit of cheese here, and that's a round! What?
Yeah, WUMBO did not expect that last chunk of garbage coming in, so that is, in fact, going to be 1-all here.
Bring it to really what is actually a 1st to 6. Nakagi with 130 attack there as well. Both players, a bit of iconic 6-3. It's enough structure while giving enough free-form stacking, I think. That's why it's sort of come out as the sort of dominant opening, which I love. I don't like openers. They're very boring.
Yeah, and it also helps you speedrun that zone, which is what you want to do to get an early advantage here, is get on top of that zone.
Yeah. I just realized I'm probably gonna get like a mountain of hate for saying that openers are boring.
Well, I
That's
mean,
fine.
I got into a full-on like verbal fight over why you shouldn't do stick spin in TEC.
Oh, no, that one I think we can all agree on is absolutely just stupid.
People just kept doing stick spin just to make me like
Oh, 50.
get mad at them. So we're
Stick spin is
already
disgusting.
40,000 points after that first zone for both players. Both players playing very efficiently here, and we may even see a zoneless transition because of that efficiency. But you can see those
Yeah.
scores are neck and neck right here.
Oh,
Wumbo with a little bit of
Wumbo.
a
What
drop
happened
on that
there?
J piece, but they're going to be able to fix this up here.
Nice spin. Finally finds that spin there. Opens that up. Yeah, look, I can see Wumbo zoning here, and almost like he could hear the commentary. Goes for it.
Yeah, and
And
Nakagi's
this
board
is a
not
good
looking
lead.
great. Couple of misdrops. They're gonna have to fix those, and
Oh my
ooh,
god, Wumbo,
another
what are you?
misdrop to follow that up is not what they wanted.
Whoa! A 62 from Wumbo, kicking us over into phase three, and it looks like Nakagi did catch that phase
Yeah,
two. The zone is
did get
not
the phase
plummeting as
two
quick.
timer.
Nice. Okay, that's good. They're even gonna find a T-spin up at the top of the board, and I
Ooh, the
think there's a
20.
20.
Yeah, the 20 sub was
46, but it
great,
does
but that garbage
nothing.
incoming is not great. Okay,
Look,
that's a
this
nice
is
combo.
definitely yeah, this is definitely good. They bought themselves some more time.
Ooh.
Oh, that eyepiece was crucial.
They IRS for a couple of pieces, but that is not enough, and that is going to give Wumbo a second point here.
Yeah, that was pretty rough, honestly. You could tell from the hesitation they did not mean to use the eyepiece there. That Tetris would have given them like what 7 attack, staving off the player, like staving off Wumbo's attack. Yeah, unfortunate, but hey, plenty of rounds to go. It's only 2-1 in a first to 7.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a long matchup, like we've mentioned, and hopefully the fatigue doesn't get to these players quite yet, but that might start to be an issue later on in the night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because these players, you guys are so for you it's like in the evenings, isn't it? Oh dear.
Oh, yeah.
I have the luxury of waking up to commentate things and to play competitively. There's a kick there, Nakagi. I think they're trying to find it, but they spent so much time trying to find it that I don't think it was even worth the time. They would have squeezed out what 5 more attack. Meanwhile, Wumbo is just blazing it into a 53. But alas, they do accept one line of garbage. So what do I know?
Yeah, but we do see Wumbo with that pretty significant score advantage over here. Although he is going for
God.
some 9-0 right now, which isn't going to help them as much in the score department, but will help them out in the zone department, which is where he's probably looking as we are looking towards this phase 3.
I think
Wumbo
Nakagi
has
was
gotten.
actually yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nakagi just did like something that was really just clean. They managed to set up a center well Kaiden into a
Mhm.
Tetris T spin. It just worked out so elegantly that they actually nearly killed Wumbo there. If Wumbo didn't have their own T spin Tetris combination, I think it would have actually killed. But into phase three we go.
Yeah, so Wumbo's gotten both of his points so far by quick wins in phase 3, but it looks like that is not going to be the case here, as we do start off this phase 3 relatively even.
Oh, I love the T spin triple. We love those T spin triples in phase three because they almost guaranteed put cheese on your opponent's board.
Mhm.
And look at this down stack from Nakagi. We get a 7 combo, a bit cheeky, and that puts Wumbo at the top of the board, but they're not dead.
Yeah, Wumbo is absolutely greeting up here, just trying to do what players do best in this game, and that is just finding efficiency on the top of the board, and that's how a lot of players will go to find their pressure.
Yeah, I think they
But
even misplaced a T-spin overhang at the top there. They've zoned now, and now Nakagi's going to try and do their own bit of offense here. And look, this is looking
this is
pretty
a
good
nice
for them.
out.
Oh, wow. This is
Oh, wow.
crazy. What is that? Wow. Okay,
Ooh, and
45.
Wumbo is just,
That's just instant death, yeah.
yeah.
Completely and utterly dominated them. That's what I love about zone battle. I think that to absolutely secure a win, you should dominate your opponent in both the zone and regular play. And Nakagi absolutely just did that.
Yeah, and so we're 2-all here. Yet another tie. We did have a lot of non-sweeps last night as well, from what I was able
Mm-hmm.
to hear, and so hopefully we also have a lot of non-sweeps here.
Yeah, the only couple we had was Uya Showdown and Barchis. Jade
Mhm.
Call Me Star.
Mhm.
OSW on promo actually.
Oh,
I
interesting.
didn't know. Yeah, I thought I've actually in my head I internalized that wasn't a sweep. But then again, it is OSW we're talking about.
Yeah. And, from my
Oh,
experience,
nice.
Promo's not the biggest fan of TEC.
Ah, 60 attack, and that's gonna put some
Mhm.
material on Wumbo's board. Who can I ask? Like, who is Nakagi? I've never heard the name personally. I haven't seen them much in ranked at all. Really, this is like my first time hearing of them, and they're taking on Wumbo. So, are they? Is it just me out of the loop here, or?
I think I've commentated their gameplay once, probably
Mhm.
for one of Tizago's tournaments if I had to guess, but I don't have any other information. Maybe a PPT player. I feel like that's a common theme with me and not knowing players is they're usually PPT
Yeah,
players.
usually they're some sort of they're from sort of
Oh, TCWC zone
okay.
battle. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Oh, and that's gonna be I think that's instant death.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow. Well, no previous performance can save them from that. 141 versus 125 draws, but Wumbo does get the edge with a really nice transition there. Again, like you said, they get their rounds from quick phase 3 transitions.
yeah, and that's honestly usually a result of just good zone play and good macro, of paying attention to your opponent's board, where they are. I think some of the rounds that Wumpus had have been mild fumbles by Nakagi, but that definitely doesn't take away from the play that Wumbo is able to have in the macro category.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's something that like regardless, like I mean, if the opponent makes a mistake, you want to capitalize on that. And look at this stacking from Wumbo. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Nakagi as well with what looks like a fractal. This is going to be two zones for the ages. Oh, and Nakagi does actually go for a bit of a flimsy combo there.
And there's the
They're going to
20.
find the 20. Yep, 53. And actually puts again a line of material on Wumbo's board just like 2 rounds ago. And now Nakagi doing what I believe is 7-2 there. And yeah, forced to break. But hey, recovers it well. Finds a T-spin
Oh,
amongst all.
oh,
Wumbo,
that's a
what are
pretty high
you doing?
tower. That's a pretty high
Oh my
TSP
god!
tower. 3 is just egregious.
A center. Wait.
And the C-spin.
Oh, and the C-spin. What is
Starts the
this?
zone with the
Wumbo.
C-spin here. Definitely looking to find some good damage and maybe get another quick win here with this zone. And this is going to be a great zone
Oh,
here. So much efficiency has been found here, especially starting off with that TST. Unfortunately, no ulti, but it's going to be a
55 and
55 and
18.
18. And we can see Nakagi just has the zone chunks of like viewable on their board and gets
Oh,
that one eyepiece, but not enough. If you just see the one zone chunk there and you have quarter zone, you're like, okay, I might be able to handle this. But when you see the second zone chunk above it, then it was kind of Jover before that quarter zone
yeah.
started.
I mean, I'd say the most common thing that happens is you want to try and you want to try and cancel, or you want to try and tank that first like sort of part of it of the the zone tends to send after after all the other attack. The bonus is comes in two chunks. Usually, when you hit phase 3, you've eaten through a portion of that first chunk. I think the optimal play there is to accept that portion and then try and deal with the second chunk.
Right.
Nakagi completely just, I guess, didn't do that, and it wound up as it was. So I'm good at English.
We're
It's
both
still
very good.
early.
Wumbo has to get rid of that T-spin there to try to find the higher
Oh,
clear in the
nice.
zone. Does find that 20.
60.
Nakagi doing a lot of building in this zone. This was a very low
Yeah,
zone,
wow. This is
but they're building it fast. Have
when the
to cut
square
that
gets in
zone
the
a little
way.
short here. And Nakagi with the higher score. Nakagi's the one here closer to phase 3. Wumbo has a slight zone advantage, but yeah, Nakagi catches up. And
Nakagi
they're
just playing
just 9-0ing.
yeah. Yeah, they got sent a lot of 9-0 from Wumbo, and I think their stack was already a little bit of 9-0, so frankly, Wumbo helped them. Good on you, mate. Very kind of you
Yeah,
in
but
a
that does
competitive format.
also allow Wumbo to catch up score-wise.
Well, currently Nakagi's zoned, and Wumbo trying to fix up a stack here isn't going to zone quite yet. Might even wait until they're a little bit further along. Yep, and Nakagi might have a 20 here, frankly. This looks pretty promising.
Not
Yeah,
quite.
that's a 19. We'll take a 57.
Ooh, they're
Is
they're
that a
looking for the PC
PC?
solve.
Oh,
No, I don't think
I
there was a
thought,
PC
yeah.
there, but they were looking for it. I think we all saw it, that it was just like a couple pieces off, but they didn't have the
Yeah.
correct pieces. All right, and we
Needed an
start with phase
SLT.
3 relatively even here.
Yeah, knock off a WUMBO who's taken the majority of their rounds via that transition. But hey, we'll see if they can convert here. Oh, nice overhang there from Nakagi.
Right, and so we are going to get into the efficiency game, and
Oh,
we've
the
really only
fractal.
had a long phase 3 during one round, and that was Nakagi's round. So let's see if they're able to inch WUMBO up the board in this phase 3, or if WUMBO is able to convert here and find a fifth goal.
Nakagi is playing very well here. Multiple T-spins there, going into another zone, and I think this is pretty promising. Yeah, beautiful 36 there. WUMBO with just two big chunks and a little bit of attack on top. Shouldn't be too hard to cancel, not with this incredible zone. Wow, 17! I think they just completely swung the round. 36
And that actually brings us perfectly even. Both
brings it
players at the
back.
bottom of their boards. That's not something you see often in phase 3.
No, almost perfect cancellation. Oh, Nakagi. No, that was on purpose. I thought it was a small blemish on their board, but no, we're good. And WUMBO just playing crystal clean here. All right. And I think with a couple more lines, both players are going to be sitting on max zone. Nakagi, the first to activate. I nearly said Kagari there.
Yeah, Kagari playing so real.
Yeah. Also, I finally become a fanboy of of, Tetris Effect. 49, and again, basically neutral here. We have a stalemate occurring deep into phase 3.
Yeah, definitely starting to be a bit of a longer round here. Like I mentioned, we haven't really seen any of those quite yet, but it's definitely something that's become expected of TC.
Yeah, WUMBO zones there to get that T-spin triple, and it does do quite a bit. But now Nakagi absolutely, undeniably has the advantage. WUMBO stacking at the top of the board to greed for that Tetris. Oh my god. We love long rounds for this exact reason. Oh, I love it. And now WUMBO
Yeah.
fighting for his very life.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh, that
maybe. Oh no, that wasn't a
that was
misdraw.
a yeah, it looked like a
Yeah, it
misdrop, but
looked it
no.
looks like it, but no, not quite.
All right,
Just
that
too
looks
big
like
brain
two big
force.
chunks there. We'll see
And
how
this
they
is a
handle this.
lot.
This is a lot, but they bring it down to within. Yeah,
Ooh.
within view, the quarter zone is not used, and instead tanks everything, topping out. And Nakagi with just barely anything in that extra attack does squeeze it out. Honestly, I think they did a very good job to bring that back. WUMBO obviously neutralizing things at the start of the phase 3. Bringing it back from that is crazy. I don't think either player really has any momentum over the other. We're just playing some good old zone battle.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for.
Oh, wait, this is a very quick zone from WUMBO, right? They got that zone very quickly.
Yeah, and they have some setups going here too. That Z
Ooh.
misdrop is going to slow them down a little bit here. But that's still a
Yeah, no.
50 and 17. That is still a very strong zone. And we're setting up a 3 wide.
This is a 56. Okay. WUMBO to yeah, this zone. Sorry, not zone. Sorry, this combo. Pretty
That's a
good.
12 combo. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's a nice floaty boy in another T-spin. Yeah, WUMBO known for their combos. Not quite what I've seen them do in their TikToks and their YouTube shorts, but pretty good. Looking for a T-spin. Doesn't quite get there in time, and instead has to take the
Ooh.
spin. Oh no.
This is a great opportunity for Nakagi to capitalize here. WUMBO did have to take that zone in an unfavorable position and are likely not going to get full use out of it. And that is phase 3, and WUMBO just hits that space bar. He knows that that round is not his to take.
Yeah, and look at the attack difference. Wow. Okay, Nakagi playing some very efficient phase 1 and 2. 4-4. We are down to a first to 3. Love it. These two players, I feel like, play very similarly. Oh my. Oh my.
Calculated. It's all calculated.
And Nakagi being forced to burn there as well after having no options for skims. It was a 5 wide. We don't see those very often. And after all that, both players are on. What a weird phase one this has been,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah. Nakagi's starting to zone after WUMBO here. WUMBO looking for that high clear, finds that 20.
Nice!
56 and 20 there. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
zone. We'll see what Nakagi has in response. They're taking a couple of skims here. They're looking for the higher clear. They find it, and so that's a 57
Wow,
and 20.
57. And that's a C-spin with a hole in it? Okay.
It worked out. It was clean.
Yeah, it gets the job done. A little bit of a score difference here. Nakagi, I definitely think they have the control.
And they have a C-spin.
C-spin, yeah. Although WUMBO WUMBO is going to get to the zone first, so maybe they can be the one to kick it over.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
Looks like it. Generally, if you start the zone at around 40,000 points, you need to have a pretty good efficiency zone. So if the zone gets cut short, then I would expect WUMBO does not push this over into phase 3. But so far, WUMBO's been having some really nice efficient zones.
Nice tucks from WUMBO as well. They're going to get the 57. It's definitely going to kick it over. Nakagi, I feel like, has been a little bit quicker with this one. They don't quite find the 20, 52, but it does put a bit of attack into WUMBO's queue here. They're going to accept a lot of that, and they find the T-spin.
And they're finding some more here. Nice little count to 4 there from WUMBO. A little bit of a combo down stack. Nakagi just 9-0 stacking on top of that garbage here. Another T-spin to fire off.
Also doing the count to 4 there. Very nice job. And look, I think this is about even once again. I think this could be another long one, boys.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're getting close to the end of this match, and so this point could be pretty important for momentum reasons.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I concur. That's a sentence, right?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, WUMBO squeezing out what looks like a 19, yeah.
So
and
Nakagi just misdropped a TST, and that might actually end the round. I think it did.
Yeah, I think that's going to be WUMBO's round. Wow.
Yeah, that misdrop up at the top of the board, that's not something that can be easily corrected in phase 3, where those zones are short.
And WUMBO takes the lead, only needing 2 rounds to win. Nakagi has the uphill battle. But, you know, they've already taken 4 rounds. It's not like they can't take a few more. But yeah, these players, both of them are very similar in playstyle. Very similar in stacking patterns. Both seeming to do exactly the same amount of counting to 4. The same amount of floaty boys. The same amount of fractals as well. They're very similar. And I love an evenly matched game. Which is shocking considering the seeding. Like, yeah, this is 3 vs 11. Like, this is... Yeah.
Alright, Nakagi zoning. I was wondering if they were going to do it any sooner, but they go for it now. WUMBO looking for the higher clear. Not finding the 20 they were looking for, but that is a 53 in 19. Nakagi sends a 49, but that still results in some garbage on WUMBO's board. WUMBO does not see the I piece or the T piece in queue that they want. They find the T piece, but the board suffers for it here. And now WUMBO's up the top, getting through that down stack now, and is going to come out of this completely fine. But Nakagi is the one with the score advantage. WUMBO has this full zone here, can likely put this over into phase 3 whenever he decides to do so. And it looks like that is now, as Nakagi is going to have to stack a little bit before zoning, as they were only at half, now at 3/4.
Oh wow, WUMBO. Okay, that's quite the sprint of a zone. I think they're looking for a spin there with the J piece, but it was one column to the right where it couldn't be done within that zone, unfortunately negating the potential of a 20. But Nakagi, meanwhile, taking that 20 and putting a big chunk of attack in WUMBO's queue there. And oh boy, has it done
I think
a bit
WUMBO
for
was trying to get his zone finished before Nakagi started their zone, giving them a phase 3 timer and giving WUMBO the advantage. So WUMBO sacrificed a little bit of zone efficiency there. And the donation is very nice there. No, I agree. Thank you for calling that out. And it definitely is biting him right now.
Yeah, he does open up the well there. Gains access to a few more rows. And look, I think this could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah. No, this is not
This is
looking good
pretty
for
rough.
WUMBO here. WUMBO has cut off
Oh,
access
and
to that next well, and the eye misdrop on the side there is going to be the final blow. And we are now in a first two. Amazing that this has now been tied up 4 separate times.
Toe-to-toe right now, back and forth. Nakagi, again, not out of it.
I guess it's been tied 5 times if you count 0-0, but I feel like that shouldn't count.
Yeah, I mean, like, that has the same energy as, like, it's the same energy of, oh, yeah, every game is on PB pace, right? Like, it's, like, not really, like...
All right, both players looking to build up the zone. WUMBO is the first to find zone and rips it right away. Nakagi is up at the top, has a hole in their stack, and it just barely gets the eyepiece. WUMBO might be trying to finish the zone up quickly, but Nakagi has recovered their board and is in a good state to zone. They do start it, but WUMBO sends that 54 in 17. That is a nice zone, and Nakagi has a fast zone here, and they misdrop up at the top.
Look, the saving grace here and the reason why they sent more is that their zone was just blazing fast.
Yeah.
I think
and a little bit of that goes over to WUMBO's board. WUMBO did have to not use an attack the way that he was looking to do so. So there was a little bit of outcome of, you know, damaging WUMBO's board with that zone, but not too much. WUMBO has full zone here and is looking to bring this into phase 3. This is a strong start to the zone. I love this. No breaking of back-to-back yet so far in this zone. Continues back-to-back. That's one thing that WUMBO's been doing great with these zones is really paying attention and not...
Oh, wow! The Tetris at the top of the 65!
That was insane. That is a great zone. A 65 to bring this into phase 3 is not great here for Nakagi, but we end up even. WUMBO does send that follow-up attack to put Nakagi up to the top here, but both players have to do something soon with their boards to try to get this important second to last point in this first to 7.
Yeah, I cannot believe WUMBO finding that Tetris to the top of the board there with the L spin. That was beautiful. And now Nakagi at the top of the board. WUMBO building a little bit of man-made material. Finds a Tetris here, forcing Nakagi into zoning. And look, I don't want to be pessimistic here, but it's going to take a lot from them to pull this back, which maybe a lot has just happened. There's a T-spin found at the end there, 25. WUMBO with a full meter, and they're going to build on some man-made material here. Finds a Tetris, finds a T-spin as well. Nakagi finding a T-spin in the middle of their material. Oh, this is scary.
And they set up a center forward.
Giving WUMBO a taste of their tried and true medicine. And I think it's absolutely
setting up the side forward. Are we gonna go for the T-spin at the end? Nope, we're not. We're just going for the forward. I think that's pretty in line with what WUMBO normally does. And Nakagi responds with a side forward of their own. They're starting this off in zone, so no line clear delay to slow them down. But they're going to continue this outside of zone and send a little bit over to WUMBO's side here. WUMBO going for that side forward in the zone here as we are just exchanging side forwards back and forth at this point. It looks like Nakagi is ending that exchange, which is honestly great for me, but I was really concerned that WUMBO was building up a center forward there, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with myself if that was the case. So.
We're all just having a good time, aren't we? All right. Well, that little exchange there, back and forth, dueling with
this isn't
forwards.
good. This isn't good.
WUMBO finds the S spin there, gives me a bit of time to compose myself once again, and Nakagi, what is your board?
Wait, what did you do?
Okay, players are just devolving
this isn't art class. This isn't art class. This is zone battle. WUMBO corner zoning up at the top here with this fractal setup.
Lovely fractal.
Finds the T-spin and one Tetris. Yeah, I don't really like. This is interesting. This is something. Great. I mean, Nakagi recovered their board somehow.
This is just something that happens, I guess, in longer sets. Players eventually devolve and will try anything they can to get an advantage, even if it means just
the misdrop from WUMBO.
That shit crazy plays. And honestly, like WUMBO is in a bit of a difficult situation here. Finds a T-spin at least into what would have been a 180. But Nakagi, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing over there, bro.
I think the players are suffering from some stamina issues, frankly. This is pretty rough. Nice floaty boy there. WUMBO now at the top of the board, and that's a Tetris T-spin coming in. Oh my god. And now Nakagi with a 3/4 zone. Okay,
This is going to be a strong zone here.
Yeah, this could be good for them. WUMBO might be in trouble here. We might see a match point.
WUMBO finding out the counter there. There was some pretty good out of zone play there from WUMBO that saved them right there. But Nakagi with a spire in the center of the board. I don't know what you're doing over there. WUMBO zoning here.
Oh dear.
Starting off that zone with a Tetris, though, it seems like that's going to be the most efficient part of the zone. There is a nice combo there, but that combo table is nerfed in zone a little bit. And I wonder if we're going to see, I was wondering if WUMBO is going to build up that side forward, and there it is, just choosing to build it on the opposite side of where I thought he was going to build it. Okay, so now we're going to rip this forward, and let's see what combo we get out of it. Do we just start counting this here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
18, 18. Okay, well,
I'm in the lobby and Wiley's watching Tizago's Discord stream, so that's the difference in timing there.
Well, it was more so that we started at 1, where in Tetris for some reason they start the combo at 0.
No, I started it when it said 1 combo on the side. I said what it said on the side. I didn't start it. I started at 0. I just didn't say 0. Okay, now that we're debating this, WUMBO has gotten the point.
Tetris.
Yep.
And now Nakagi has to win 2 in a row to stay in this. What a round, sorry. Well done to both of you guys, though. What a round. Definitely got some showmanship going on here. The 4-wide duel was just fantastic. The back and forth. And it wasn't even WUMBO who started it, who you'd probably expect, right? It was Nakagi who thought, I'm going to give this a go. And they may have lost that round, but I'll definitely give them the style points. Oh, this is quick. This is very
quick zone here from WUMBO.
Wait, 21.
There's the curb, the 74 curb there from WUMBO.
What the hell is that? 52. Wait, is that going to secure the game?
They do have quarter zone here, and they are going to be able to get a couple of Tetrises, which is going to be enough for them to live here. But both players at that 45,000 point mark, but WUMBO not having zone twice is going to have a bit of a zone advantage, though not as much as you expect given the situation.
No. It's barely even a quarter, frankly. Yeah, look at that. They're basically tied on zone. And look at the score. They've completely pulled it. Despite WUMBO getting a curb, this is basically even again.
Yeah.
Nakagi with a really well-timed... What was that? I think it was like a half zone there to counter that curb. Poor WUMBO, they're not going to convert that. Great play, but it means nada. I haven't said nada in years.
So true.
WUMBO with a 61 in 19 and Nakagi.
Ooh, the 20 there. 56 and 20, but there's still going to be a bit of garbage on Nakagi's board. WUMBO has this strong 5-4 stack here, is trying to put damage on Nakagi's board, pressure them out, and end the set. Nakagi up to the top is just on the down stack train here, and WUMBO is just finding this attack, just this APM spam to try to close out this phase 3, and it looks like it's working here. Let's see what comes in on WUMBO's board. It doesn't even phase him here, and they are going to 3-quarter zone right now.